Bringing a new puppy home, like this little guy, Mellow, the Polish lowland sheepdog puppy, is much like bringing home a toddler into your home. Except for this toddler likes to explore the world with his mouth and his razor sharp teeth. So, in order to prepare for bringing a puppy home and puppy-proofing your house, I have created a handy dandy list for you, which we will go through in this video. Hey, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Nicole with Podorable Finds, and I am obsessed with helping dogs and their owners live their best lives. So today we're going to talk a little bit about puppy-proofing your home. So before you bring your new puppy home, it's really important that you go through your home room by room, and kind of overarching, there are a few things that you want to make sure that you're looking out for. Number one is going to be small objects, because they can be choking hazards. Anything that could be toxic to your dog, so medication or chemicals like cleaning supplies or even some plants. And you also want to make sure that you're just keeping your overall environment safe. But we're going to go through this room by room next. Okay, the first room we're going to go to is everybody's favorite room, the kitchen. So you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at some low-lying areas, especially for a puppy. Most puppies are going to be small, unless you're thinking about a Great Dane or a large breed dog, because before you know it, they will be able to counter surf. So they might be able to get into your kitchen sink or just even on top of the counter. So make sure the top of your counter, anything that you must have on your countertop, is pushed way back. And also make sure there's no sharp objects or foods or anything that could be really enticing for your dog to counter surf. When we're talking about some of the lower lying areas, so different cupboards, I mean, if you're anything like me, you're probably keeping your cleaning supplies, garbage, that sort of thing underneath your kitchen sink. You can keep those well contained, of course, behind the cabinet doors, but for extra safety, you can put on some baby locks to prevent a very curious puppy from getting into there. You would be surprised at what puppies can get into. Finally, in your kitchen, I would think your stove. Some stovetops actually have in the very front of the stove the knobs. So a puppy could potentially jump up and turn on a stovetop, that sort of thing. So either remove the knobs or just be very, very mindful of that. The next room we're going to look at is your bathroom. So in the bathroom, if you have say cupboards, that sort of thing, much like the kitchen, you can get baby safe locks. If there are things like your cotton swabs, cotton balls, that sort of thing, make sure that they are tucked away in a locked cabinet, because they could be a choking hazard to your puppy. Similarly, your medicine, even if it has those child lock caps, with a puppy with their razor sharp teeth, and if you have a power chewer, they can get through those bottles. So really make sure that they're put away, tucked away in a medicine cabinet, something easy for you to reach, difficult for puppy to reach. Your toilet, you want to make sure that the lid is kept shut, because a smaller puppy, if they could possibly get in, again, you would be astonished at what puppies can do. They could drown in a toilet. So you can keep the lid shut. You can also get baby locks for toilet seats, which could be really handy. Finally, you may as well just try to keep your bathroom door shut, then it's locked away from the puppy altogether. The next room we're going to visit is the bedroom. So in your bedroom, of course, there's lots of potential choking hazards. So that could be anything from your jewelry to hair ties or bobby pins. Make sure that that's clear from your floor. I know sometimes it can be really impossible, especially if something falls under your bed. But speaking of under your bed, you may also be concerned about your puppy getting stuck under the bed. You might be able to entice your puppy from under the bed with a treat, but to prevent them from even going under in the first place, underbed storage bins, which could be a win-win for you, or you can get blockers and blockades for around your bed. I'll put a link in the description below, but again, I do not get a commission from any of this. This is just sort of free advice. If you plan on playing with your puppy on top of your bed, just make sure they're really well supervised, because you really don't want them falling off. That could be a really tall fall for them, especially with their fragile bones and their lack of coordination. It could be an accident waiting to happen. And finally, for any lamps or anything that requires an electrical cord, either try to tuck them away, and I know that's not always possible, right? Or you can go to your local hardware store and pretty inexpensively get some PVC pipe, something thin enough for your cord to fish that through. Puppy can't really bite through that. Or you can get actual cord concealers. Usually you can get them at a hardware store as well. If I can find a link for you, I will put it in the description below. Next, we're going to go to the living room, den, basically any of those more high traffic areas within your home. So much like the bedroom, if you've got things that require a cord to plug into the wall, you can again get some of the PVC pipe that will, conceal the cords, and puppy can't chew through that, or you can actually get cord concealers. Next, on any sort of furniture, some people choose not to allow their dogs on the furniture, and that's cool. But if you do choose to have your dog on the furniture, make sure that they are well supervised. And you can also get pet-proof kind of blankets to protect your sofa or your chairs. And as the theme goes, keep an eye out for any sort of choking hazards. So that could be anything as simple as a paper clip, a pen, etc. And finally, houseplants. Just be mindful. I'm going to put a link in the description below this is a really long list of plants, common plants that are toxic to dogs. So that would include anything from daffodils to hyacinth to oleander. There's so many plants that are very toxic to dogs and some that are not. So just be mindful of that as well. Now we're going to go outside of your house. So if you have a yard where you have flowers and plants, very similar to what we said about any plants or flowers that you have in your home, just really be mindful of that. If you do have them and you love them and you don't want to get rid of them, make sure that you've got those fenced off really securely so puppy can't get in. In the garage area, be mindful, of course, of any chemicals. Keep them on a high shelf or somewhere where they're unreachable to puppy. So that could be anything from fertilizer. Antifreeze is especially enticing to dogs. I guess it tastes really good for any pet, really. So you definitely want to make sure that that is sealed away in a high area where puppy cannot access it. And finally, fencing around your home. So whether you have a swimming pool, make sure that that is very securely enclosed so puppy can't get in, because that is a drowning hazard, of course. But if you have a fence around your yard, make sure that the slats are close enough together so puppy can't wiggle through, deep enough so if you have a digger, they don't dig under the fence, and high enough so that even your tallest leapers aren't able to, circumvent the fence in any other way. Now, my personal choice is to keep my puppy's world very, very small. So by that, I mean I use baby gates. I also have puppy playpen and crates, dog crates, to keep him contained in a safe place. So if I ever have to leave the room, I know where he is, I know that he's safe and he can't get into trouble. The puppy playpen that I have, I can easily move from my living room into my den area so that he is always with me and he doesn't freak out. And of course, I keep his crate with me beside my bed at night so that when we're sleeping, he's right there. I can hear him if he needs to get out. And I know that he's not roaming freely around the house as I sleep. And finally, within the house, honestly, I do keep a leash on him. So even when we're walking around, if we're going from room to room, I'll have him loose outside of his contained areas, but I'll keep him on a leash. So I find, as an example, in my bedroom in the mornings, if I am trying to get ready for the day, then I can kind of keep the leash on him, secure it around the leg of my bed. You can secure it around the leg of anything so that he's in a contained area. I'm still free to move around and he's not kind of feeling trapped in a crate when he's ready to play. Preparing to bring your new puppy home and puppy proofing may seem like a bit of a daunting task, but I have a handy dandy list for you that you can find on my website. I will link it in the description below. Hopefully you will find that really helpful, and if you do, I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe and like button. And until next time, thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day.